'cause it's heavy, heavy friendly. There is an eagle flying.
Hey, frienders, welcome to Heavy Friending, Austin's #1 friendship-based podcast. I am Laura Lee Bishop here with my best friend, Joe Barlow.
Hi.
And we're somewhere really special today.
Oh my gosh, the
And people
smells, the sounds.
And people were jealous
the
when we
sights.
were walking in. I got some bad looks because we
Yeah.
were kind of cutting the line a little bit.
That gives you a hint. There's a line involved.
Always a line.
So that narrows it down to the bank,
Okay.
amusement parks,
Yeah.
other places with lines.
In Miley Cyrus's bathroom.
I guess I don't get
Oh.
that. I don't get that reference.
Okay.
Let's bring in our guest. Maybe he understands it. His name is Aaron Franklin. You know him, of course, because his name is synonymous with quality meats.
Yeah.
Hello, Aaron Franklin.
How are y'all doing?
Do you get the reference she said?
No, who's Miley?
Miley Cyrus?
Cyrus.
Yeah. Just this girl. She has a famous dad. People don't know her as
Billy
well.
Ray Cyrus.
Yeah. Yeah. He had this song
I
about
don't get it.
something Aiken.
Clay Aiken?
Yeah.
Oh, Achy Breaky Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's Miley.
Yeah.
And
You
now you're
really didn't
embarrassed.
know who she was? I thought you were pretending to not know who she was, like as a joke.
Well, I
we could go with
might
that.
not listen to a lot of that kind of music.
Well, she
It's possible.
famously talks about doing lines and waiting in line for the bathroom, trying to do a line.
Oh,
in the
really?
bathroom.
Oh,
yeah.
I totally didn't
Yeah,
get the
so
reference.
I didn't get that. I
All
know
the
who
other
Miley
listeners
is.
did, so they're laughing
you guys
a lot right now.
No, I'm old, right?
No.
You're just a James Beard award-winning chef.
Oh, I guess some might claim that.
So I feel like that just, that shows wisdom. You can say,
I don't even.
it's
I'm
age.
like
it's-
ZZ Top's drummer. I don't even have a beard.
See, here's another reference.
See, because
a lot
I'm
of
old.
musical references going
Well,
on.
his name is Frank Beard,
Oh,
but he's the one guy in the band that doesn't have a beard.
Yeah.
okay, that's funny. Did you know that?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Just laughing along.
Mic drop.
Well, let's think
Yeah.
of what do I know about music?
Okay. Hot dog song is what
I
comes
don't
to
know. This
mind for
pumpkin
me.
spice is kicking in, so I'm a little
Okay.
slow on the kick. When do you get up, Aaron? Like probably really early.
No, actually, not that bad. About 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, that's bad
Not really.
because I get up at
Compared
8.
for normal barbecue stuff, that's pretty good.
That is.
I used to get to work about 12:30 a.m. to cook ribs,
Yeah,
but I don't really do that anymore. Now I get up and take the kid to school. So that's cool.
that is cool.
That's where I get most of my jokes.
Education is cool. Well, you gotta
From your
ask your
child?
kid. You
Give
gotta
us
ask.
lay one on us. Let's see.
Oh, I can't think of anything right now. My pumpkin spice hasn't
Okay,
kicked
what
in yet.
about any
we
good
go.
barbecue jokes?
Oh,
Like what did the rump roast say to the
I like the
you know,
start.
yeah.
I like the start of that
to
joke.
the kielbasa?
Uh-huh.
There's something there. Well, we could workshop
That's
it
just
later.
funny on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, just that. There's no
Just that.
Just
is
what did they
funny.
say?
How long is this podcast?
It's going to be an all-day event.
Yeah, we're gonna stay until the
I hope
brisket
you've
is
cleared your
cooked.
schedule. I'm sure you don't have anything to do.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope, nothing. No, I was just making sure. It seems like it's going painfully slow.
Nice.
Let's set the scene. This is hurtful. This is a friendship-based
Yeah,
podcast,
friendship.
Aaron. This is
Friendship.
not
See,
good for
this is
friendship.
fun. This
Are
is
you
fun.
looking
This
for
is fun.
friends in the market?
I think everybody's always looking for someone.
That's true. I agree.
kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's
are
always nice to
actively.
meet people that you like.
Yeah.
Well, and
so
one
how's
thing,
it going so far? You think with us, like, just
It's,
friendship?
Somewhat impressed.
I don't like the length of
It's
the pause, but
but
Well,
it's
think
early.
about it.
It's early. I'm not good at first impressions. I need to build to the
Yeah.
crescendo.
he's better
Yeah,
on
I
like
think
I
it's
would
going
say
well,
he's a
though.
good like 15th impression.
Yeah.
Is when you're like, okay, I could maybe tolerate.
Well, to me,
you.
it's much like the roasting of delicious meats.
Right.
Don't pull it out too early.
Oh,
You got to check in at the end, and you say,
yeah.
"Oh, that's done. That's meat."
We have to really massage things into submission.
right.
See,
That's
now
what the
now
rump
we're
roast
talking your
said
language,
to
and I
the
think we're building
kielbasa.
towards something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to set the scene. If people aren't from Austin, haven't been to Austin, what is Franklin Barbecue? And we mentioned the line. This is like the iconic thing about Franklin Barbecue is there's always people.
Well, hopefully the iconic thing is the food.
No, I think people
It's just
in a
more about the
perfect
line.
world, that's what
Hang out
we're going
It's more
for.
about the line, really.
Yeah, but all of it
The
builds
friendliness, how
It's part of
happy we are to serve people.
the mythology, right? Don't you think there's mythology at this point after years and years and years of it's the meat is better than any other meat in Austin. Yeah, it started with the food, but then it built into like you got to get there early or else it's going to be sold out by 10:30
Yeah, which is pretty
a.m.
funny because we don't even open till 11. Well, technically 10:59.
Yeah, but yeah, when do
And for
people
the
start
listener,
here?
I got here at 8:30 a.m. and there are people waiting outside.
And it's
already.
a Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning, 8:30 a.m.
But the
It doesn't
weather's
open until
perfect.
11.
It is.
And people are waiting on your barbecue. I mean, doesn't that...
Makes me nervous.
It does?
Makes me nervous. Hope
Still?
it's good. Oh, absolutely. 10 years into this. I mean, gosh, what if somebody got here at 4 in the morning and maybe our food didn't turn out super good? Mm-hmm. That would be pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah. Have you ever had a bad batch where you're like, ugh,
Oh, yeah. Things go up and down. They evolve all the time. We've got it fairly dialed in, but, you train a new person for something, weather changes. I mean, it fluctuates quite a bit. It's definitely like a crafty kind of thing. There's no way to really get it dialed in.
Well, I have to say, when people talk about this, like, I've never had Franklin barbecue, and I thought, I mean, this, I'm just going to say, I thought maybe I'd be
That's
greeted.
why you guys asked me
Well,
to
I
get on this
thought I'd be
podcast.
maybe greeted with some meats of some sort, tray, maybe a selection. I was
Huge
a little
assortment.
disappointed, but no, when anybody talks about it, and I'm like, the line, and they always say it's so worth it. I've never had anyone say
I
that
think
they
people
didn't.
really do have a good time. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of cool that you can go someplace, hang out, meet new people, make friends is a
Yep.
big part of it.
Yeah.
Like, you have friends or family in town, you go hang out, and people start talking. It's like, where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, hey, I'm going to get tacos. Do you want some? I think that's pretty cool. I think it's a real special kind of like pocket of old school Austin. How long have y'all lived here?
I've been here 4 years, a little over 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm from Texas, but my husband went to UT, so I was here a lot when we were in college.
Gotcha.
And then off and on for like college
Yeah.
years. So
Well, I've been here for a while, and I grew up kind of hanging out around here. But like, I kind of like look at the line, and it reminds me of old like Liberty Lunch or like standing outside of shows and kind of, like some kind of older Austin things that maybe don't exist as heavily as they once did.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's cool. Like the charm and the love is still out there. So I think that's real cool.
Well,
do you
and
ever dress in disguise
Oh.
and stand in the line and then go like, oh, you guys hear about that Aaron Franklin guy is pretty cool, right?
Oh,
and just
that's a
kind of gauge
really
and
good
see
idea.
Kind of thought
what the
about
word
it.
on the street is.
It would be weird.
Okay.
It would be really weird.
Well, it would be weird, definitely, but you would.
Well, I would feel like if I was out there, I probably wasn't really doing my job because I wouldn't be upstairs doing my job.
Yeah.
rubbing
That could be awkward.
Rubbing the meats.
rubbing the meats.
Or bussing tables or doing emails or in the kitchen doing
You hear
stuff.
that, guys?
or-
It's not-
He's
it's
still
not a
bussing
glamorous life.
tables.
Yeah.
He's still bussing tables. You're never too good for anything. You guys hear that? You're learning lessons right now.
I have to work on the toilets often.
Oh no.
Yeah.
no. Did I say
Well,
that
when
out loud?
people eat meats like this,
Oh, no.
okay, things happen
Oh,
to the
it's
body.
not the meats. It's
It's something else. Okay. Well, we'll get more into the bathroom stuff later.
Are you mad at Arby's because they say they have the meats?
Is that what they say?
Yeah, they say
we've
we
got
have the meats.
Arby's, we have the meats.
Well, technically they
Every
do.
time you see it, you scream liar.
We have them.
I haven't had an Arby's in years, but I remember them having a lot of meat.
So you have no ill will towards the Arby's
Good.
Corporation.
We see, what we do
I
here
love
is
horsey
we-
sauce, actually. I make horsey sauce at home for things.
We try to do gotcha things and get headlines.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be
the
headline
Aaron
would have been Aaron
hates
Franklin
Arby's.
anti-meats
Yeah.
at Arby's.
At Arby's, yeah. But okay, well, you got us on that one, but we'll keep trying.
Yeah, there'll be other opportunities.
We do have
Go for
Aaron
it.
Franklin's Never Heard of Miley Cyrus, which is
That's a good
A good
headline.
one.
No,
Yeah.
maybe I've heard of her. I just
he forgot her. She was so inconsequential. He forgot about
When
her.
you tried to get him on disguising himself and
yeah. So
and going in
you're
the line.
you're doing a great job of
yeah, your PR representative is going to be so happy.
super proud.
we don't have one.
I know. That's yourself. You're going to be very happy with
my
yourself.
wife.
Well, if your PR representative were here, if you had one, they would want us to talk about your book.
You book.
You
well,
look.
if we had one, we probably wouldn't be sitting here.
That's true.
That's
This was a
hurtful.
mistake.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you, this is, before we get into the specifics of the book, this is something about you, which I think is interesting, which is that you seem to not mind giving away what some would call secrets. You're like, this is my process. These are the things I do. That's maybe a weird business model.
Well, yes and no. Like when I started doing barbecue, people were super secretive. It was like, oh, it's the special sauce. I use this pepper. Nobody would really share anything, which is fine because I don't want to learn anything from anyone anyway. But I also kind of thought that was a bit of an oxymoron. It's like you've got barbecue, you've got friends coming over to eat barbecue, coming over to grill steaks, hanging out. We were just talking a little bit ago about, it's like part of the barbecue thing. It's like it's an excuse to hang out with your friends. So you've got this community thing going, and then also with barbecue, like back in the days, like it would be a community event. Like you cook a whole hog or whatever, you invite everybody over, like the town square kind of deal. So it kind of seemed opposite of that. It's like, well, I like you people, but I don't really want to talk about what we're doing because it's secret. It's like, why is it secret? It's meat and fire. There's nothing secretive about it. You cook something and then you eat it, and hopefully it's pretty good. So yeah, I think I'm into sharing. And also I'm a terrible liar. I can't lie. So when people ask questions about like, oh, well, how do you cook this? I'll just tell them exactly what we do.
This is good for our gotcha.
Well, it's
line
also
of
like, think
questioning.
about it. If a big producer, if Quincy Jones were like, which Quincy Jones has done.
I totally know.
If he were like, this is how I make a song, which he's done. We start with this. We start with making this beat, and then we write this, and we write that. You can give all the steps to something, but sometimes there's just that little bit of magic that a person has.
It's a lot of magic, especially with barbecue. But really, the missing ingredient is always labor. Like, there's no substitution for labor. You can't really, like, you can't do a brisket in 2 hours. You can't do one in 30 minutes. There's no shortcut. It just takes labor.
And I like your meat here, but I am not going to go do it at home because I'm not
you can stand in
put the
line
work
for
in.
almost the same amount of time that it would take you to cook it at home.
That's true, but then I just get to
But then you don't know if it's
sit
going to
and-
be how good it is.
Right.
Like, this is hopefully a better guarantee that it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, I think so. Well, and
It's
also-
definitely more of a guarantee than
Yeah.
Joe's barbecue is going to be good.
Oh yeah, because I have an apartment. I don't know what the
Where would you
situation
smoke it?
be.
Yeah.
Could I run a line out the window? Maybe a smoke line
Miley Cyrus could.
to puff. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's on a lot of
Yeah.
drugs. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting. But I think the other thing too, because obviously time. But you're very specific about meat, which is why like the meat runs
I'm a
out.
details guy. I like the details.
Yeah, because it's like specific, right? I mean, when it runs out, it's gone. It's not like you can be like, oh, we're going to go over to H-E-B and grab some more.
Yeah. Well, so it's a supply issue, but it's also how much we cook about 120 briskets a day, which is a lot.
Yeah.
That is a tremendous amount of food. That comes up to maybe just a hair over 40,000 pounds of brisket a month. And we're open about 4 hours a day. So if you kind of put that in perspective, you're like, okay, well, that's a lot of meat. So we don't like fast growth animals. We're really specific on genetics and how they're raised and how they're harvested and the quality of the muscles and the type of fat and the grass that they eat and all this kind of stuff is all really, really important. Just aside from ethics, I mean, just like they taste better.
Yeah.
Which it does come from an ethical standpoint for sure. So then there's that. You can only really get so much of the good stuff, and we're buying pretty much all of it from one supplier, pull from about 50 ranches. It all gets brought in through one place, designed by Temple Grandin. It's this, it's pretty special stuff. So we can't get more. We also really can't comfortably cook more. We built a smokehouse about 4 or 5 years ago, I guess. And it's right a little under 1,000 square feet. So it kind of hits all the property lines on the property. So we can't make that bigger. We can't fit more smokers in there. We can't fit more meat in the smokers. We can't cook for more than 24 hours a day, which we already do. So you kind of like start.
You've hit all the limits.
Yeah.
You kind of hit all the limits.
Yeah.
You can't get more meat. You can't really cook it like the more you cook, the harder it is to cook, so the quality goes down. You know, it's a lot easier to cook 20 briskets than it is 120. There's just, you've only got 2 hands.
But this is why you can't have
maybe get
another
more hands.
Franklin
That's the
barbecue. It
future.
would be impossible because the
It's
meat,
totally
there's not enough.
impossible.
Yeah, there's-
And we have no interest in another one.
Yeah.
Like, we've got enough. This place is, it would hurt the energy. It would just kind of kill the place.
yeah.
Not
There wouldn't
interested
be
in doing
that line out there. There's people in lawn chairs out there.
Well, it wouldn't have the magic.
And can you drink
the
beer
magic.
out there in your lawn
Is
chair?
that legal?
Yes, it is legal.
Awesome.
So the
good to
state
know.
government knows about this?
Yes.
Okay. You got real scared.
Yeah. Well, he just wanted to make sure.
No, it's true. Yeah, you can buy beer and wine in the restaurant.
Interesting.
Take it outside.
Oh,
I mean, you
you-
can't have like glass or anything, but you can have
Okay.
like a beer in our parking lot.
Well, now you're getting
not
nervous.
on the
You're
streets,
getting real. You're getting real scared.
Well, I mean, I could get technical, but it's not the right podcast
okay,
for
yeah.
that.
We
That's
don't
the
do-
TABC's podcast. and
That's
I'm
right.
gonna
Oh,
be
they
on
have a
that
great
at
podcast.
11,
The
so we better hurry
TABC
this
pod.
up.
We better hurry it up. Well,
They,
let's.
they come up and they go, "Hey, can I get a drink?" And they wait to see if you're going to card them, and then they arrest you.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's a gotcha podcast.
It's a gotcha.
Unlike
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah.
The book is called Franklin Steak. Why?
Nice.
Well, my last name is Franklin.
Okay, big part of
and
it.
I like to cook steaks. So it seemed like a real no-brainer.
What?
It comes with a pack of crayons,
What?
too.
Is it a lot of mazes? Like go
Yeah,
around
it's connect the
briskets?
dots pretty
Yeah.
much. I mean, that's how I cook.
Yeah.
It's
I feel like you're
get the
very
bullet points and
you're
connect
very
the dots.
scientific. Is there like equations and measuring and
Not a lot of measuring. So it's always the way that I cook is I like all the technical stuff. I love the science behind it. I love experiments. I love really like nailing in the details. But as we well know, cooking is also craft. So you've got to have a balance of those two things. And I tend to err more on the craft side of things and just try to cook by feel and by poking and prodding and like, well, this is how much salt this needs to have. But I also like to back it up with the numbers. Like, for example, working on sauces and salsas for the taco trailer and recipes for the book and stuff. I weigh everything out in grams, right? And like, so that way it's scalable and I can, move things around. So I would salt all these things by taste and I was like, well, it tastes right. And then I would do the numbers, weigh everything out. And every single time I ended up at 1.54% salt.
Whoa.
So
you
then,
found the magic
so
number.
there's your number.
There's your number,
of
guys.
what I think tastes good. For sauces, it's different for other stuff. So then that helps you on the technical side of it. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to cook this, and then you can put it in a spreadsheet, and you can write out a recipe almost without even, it's how restaurant stuff works. It's like, okay, 1.54% for this, 1.64 for this. If I'm doing steaks, I might do 1. Whatever. By
This
weight.
could be
so
taught
it kinda,
in a
so that
college
stuff goes
classroom.
into the book. We have an experiment in the book about air drying steaks, and pre-salting them and letting the surface dry out to increase the Maillard reaction to get a better crust, blah, 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 all the stuff. You should get the book because it's all in
Yeah,
there.
Maillard reaction. Yeah.
Oh, Maillard.
Bueller.
But with that golden salt number, you know that you're not going to oversalt the steak when it's sitting on salt overnight. You're just not going to cake it on because then it's going to be way too salty. So then if you weigh out the steak and then you pull out your little iPhone and you do a calculation, you weigh out the salt and you know exactly what to put on it. So that goes in to how, to make a great steak. Everybody's different. And then if you want to be able to salt it after you cook it, which I do, you back off on the salt, but then you kind of know how much you can put on later.
So when you're just at home cooking, for your family, say you're doing a penne arrabbiata or something, just a not a meat.
Yeah, totally. That's the kind of stuff I cook.
Are you this scientific just with your meals at home?
No, I'll just throw a bunch of stuff in a pot. And
Okay.
cook it.
Okay. Because I was thinking, man,
They're not going to Yelp review you, right?
No, they're not. There's no Yelp account at home. But it's all kind of like the feel thing. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you got to feel for it because the more you cook, the better you get at it. The more you do anything, the better you get. Of course.
Joe makes great Brussels sprouts.
Bros.
See, no, I don't. I'm not good at cooking really in any way. I'm afraid of I think what is a fundamental thing to cooking is salt. I'm so afraid of something being too salty. Because
But that's
those-
kind of cool. So you salt, if you're making something, trust your instinct a little bit. It took me years to start actually trusting my palate. I'm like, oh, I don't, you don't really know what to do. But think about like a restaurant, you put a ton of acid, like vinegar, lemon, or whatever. And then you build up the salt, and then you build up the acid and the salt balance. So if you kind of know a little bit of technical stuff about cooking, it really takes a lot of the stuff out of cooking. So when you're at home, you like just throw some salt in, you're like, that might be getting too much. Ooh, that's too salty. So then you bump this up, then you bump that up, and then you find balance. It's not about how much salt it is, it's about the balance.
See, because sometimes salt like burns my tongue.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
You want to check it out?
I don't know.
Want him to look at your tongue?
Do you want to look at my tongue?
Not really.
No,
Okay.
I don't want to show you.
We're
Covered in a coating of
Yeah, I can see that.
Pumpkin spice latte.
I do. I get those jumbo pretzels, where they have the giant salt. Like,
love
and I
those
always
things.
brush the salt off because I'm like, this is why.
Oh, they're way too
who
salty,
wants this?
usually.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
kind of shake the bag a little bit because I love pretzels too. But
I love them. I love them.
knock
soft.
some of the salt off.
Yeah, hot and soft. Here's a serious question: what is the best meat for making a friend?
I'm going to say brisket. Here in Texas, it's called brisket.
Okay.
Okay.
And explain why.
Because it's such a labor of love. It takes so long and so much energy that would go into making a good brisket that if you give someone a brisket, you mean it.
Wow. That's when you know it's real.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a good way to propose to a woman, your special lady.
Stick. Oh my God! You put a drill a little hole in the center of the brisket.
Well, now,
Put
if you cook the brisket right,
diamond in there.
a drill might be a little harsh.
Okay.
So you just like poke it in there.
Smash it in.
Yeah.
Just
Smash
smash,
and mash a
and
ring
then hope
in
no
there.
one breaks a tooth.
Yeah.
And,
But that if they do,
Still
kind of a good
cute.
story.
Yeah, still
It's a
cute.
good
Yeah.
proposal story.
Yeah.
I guess.
And they'd probably
Yes.
get on people.com.
Yeah.
Like-
So
Yeah.
you got to think about that when
Maybe
you're
front page of
proposing.
people.com
Yeah.
for like this cute couple,
Yeah.
put a ring in a thing.
People said getting a diamond grill. Well,
Okay.
she got one.
You should work for people.com. Has anyone ever told you that?
I'm going to send this in to them for a little reel. So,
I think I'm going to start making diamond grills.
Oh,
That's a good
but
idea.
a grill,
like an actual grill.
grill.
Well, you actually make
Yeah.
grills, right?
I do.
Yeah, like portable ones. So I could
Oh,
theoretically
they're sort of portable. They weigh 600 pounds.
So
for the small
I
ones.
mean, I'm kind of.
They have
I
wheels.
kind of go to the gym and stuff, so probably more portable.
And by
for
kind
some
of go to the
us.
gym, he does soup can curls
Oh, yeah.
inside of his apartment.
That's good stuff.
He also has a brick
Chunky soup.
that
It's
he
a
uses.
chunky Campbell's.
It is chunky.
That's how there's
I
more.
thought it was
there's
just
more
the
weight.
little ones, but yeah, he does do a chunky, so that's a little more weight on there.
Thank you.
Next step, 600-pound grill.
Yeah, right up the stairs of my apartment into my
Inside.
into my dining room.
Wow, meats. I feel like we're friends now, right?
Yeah.
So after this,
sure.
we're doing a meat plate, or yeah,
A meat plate.
yeah.
There's a line out there. You would have to go get in
We'll
line.
just have to see how much food's left over at the end of lunch, around 2 o'clock.
Okay, all right. So none.
But I have that TABC
So-
podcast here in about an hour
So
and a
yeah,
half. So
okay. So we
and
got to wrap it up.
Has there been a day where you haven't sold out of meat?
No, not really. We usually, of course, we go up and down the line and make sure everybody's going to get fed and won't let anybody wait if we don't have food for them. So at the end of it, we usually have a little bit of a buffer, and this is kind of where the old school, people start kind of come in the neighborhood peeps and stuff. Once we kind of finish up the line, we usually have a little bit left over, and we just kind of let people trickle in about 1:30 to 2:30, somewhere in there until it's really all gone. Because if somebody's going to wait 4 hours, it's tricky because you're like, hey, might be out of this, might be out of that. We always finish on brisket because that's what everybody wants. So we kind of like have a pretty good buffer in there. And then there's always people that we tell we won't have something and they won't leave. So then we have to have a little extra for that too. So it's a lot of complex algorithms.
Back to his formulas.
Back to the formulas, but also by feel. Balance of both.
Well, don't touch the people. You don't want a lawsuit
Well, you can touch them.
in their hearts.
here.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
right.
I was pointing at my heart.
Yeah.
For the listeners,
And that's kind of what we do on our podcast. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on.
hearts and minds.
Sure. Hearts
This
and
has been
minds,
great.
hearts and
Aaron
minds.
Franklin Barbecue. Go buy his book.
Laura, you want to try and get him
Franklin
one
steak.
more time? You have a gotcha question?
Is it really animal meat you're using, sir? Because
Well-
I've noticed people go missing from the line.
Good. Oh, that's really a good rumor.
That's a good question. I think the real question is, do you consider unicorns to be animals?
Whoa.
Exclusive. We just got an exclusive. I think he confessed to unicorn murder.
Yeah.
That's why
That's a
it's
big
so
deal.
damn
They're
good.
so rare. Yeah.
That's why you run out.
Magic.
There's only
That's
so
what
many
you.
unicorns.
That's what you propose with. You
A
put
dead-
a ring in a unicorn carcass.
Oh,
Then she's gonna say yes.
definitely.
I think there's a better spot on a unicorn to put a ring.
I was going to say,
Can't
but
think of one.
I can't think of
Uni.
anything.
I can't think of Uni. Place you would want to put that.
nice.
Thank you. I'm available for entertaining the line.
He's also available.
Oh, cool.
Single guy.
Do you make balloon animals?
No, but I can blow up balloons
That's cool.
with my mouth.
I can
He-
tie one on.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you guys so much for listening to Heavy Friending.
We have the
The
meats.
meats. We do. True. It's all true now.
Arby's. Franklin Part 2. All the juicy tidbits
Part
we
did?
didn't get
All
to.
the juices.
All the dry ends. Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Yeah, burn ends.
Burnt ends.
All the juicy bits.
Yeah.
Aaron Franklin after dark. You know, Aaron Franklin
After dark.
totally raw.
Taxi cab. Aaron
Yeah.
Franklin taxi cab confessions.
See, that's this is what we call
Yeah.
using every part of the animal.
That's right. You'd be the animal, and
Yeah.
we're the
And
ones
we're
using
harvesting
the parts.
your parts for the pleasure of our
Oh, gotta go.
audience.
Delicious.
Not morbid at all.